Not enough nonsense in your life? Need a little more? Well, get ready, because these two have it in spades. Loose talk.
What are you talking about? Nonsense.
Even looser opinions.
Please explain.
And you're along for the ride.
Everybody strap in!
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
Hello, welcome back to The Burble. Once again, it is Benny here.
Az is here.
We are by ourselves. We had the substitute Az on the previous podcast, but he is not here. It's a different day. In fact, it's not our usual time.
No, it's all discombobulated.
It is a little
out
bit.
of whack.
Well, the world is out of whack, Az. There's stuff that we've found that we have to talk about. Why? Because it's complete nonsense. People just hitting the pipe. And doing dumb shit, basically. I know I used this a little bit too much last podcast, but I don't care.
That's all good. Sound effects.
If you've got it,
It's the theatre of the mind.
All right, coming up on this podcast, as I remember in the late 80s and stuff, when if you didn't return a videotape, right, they might have slapped a $2 charge or a $4 charge, all that kind of thing. And then when video stores became DVD stores, before they ended up being totally removed, I remember they used to sick like Dun and Bradstreet on you for like late fees and stuff.
They'd get the leg breakers around to get your copy of the On Golden Pond back. Like,
What the hell? Anyway, look, we're going to talk about a woman who's learnt that she's been a felon for 21 years over a late VHS rental.
Oh.
The story is going to absolutely make your head spin here because this is ridiculous, but it is America. Doping in sport, it is not a thing that I like. I like to watch fair and just games. Like they had something on the TV the other day in the lead up to Tokyo and all that kind of thing about controversies about, remember Ben Johnson got done for doping and then his medals went to Carl Lewis, and Flojo, I think she got done as well.
Yeah, I think so.
And the Asian swimmers from China as well.
And you know that bike rider guy.
Oh, yeah, Lance Armstrong. Yeah, but back to the swimmers though. What were their names? Wee Doping and Yay Wee One. The internet went down somewhere in British Columbia after an animal intervened with a cable. We'll tell you about that. You're going to have a rant as well a little bit later on, and I'm going to try and put a new spin on a cosmetic thing that you can have done to yourself. I'm going to try and put it into a...
Is it in the pant area? That's pretty much where we go with this podcast.
It is in the pant area.
Right, okay.
That's coming up on The Burble.
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
I know at our local video store, way back when we had video stores, I remember when we first got video stores here in our hometown, Az. Do you know how much it cost you to join? And it was called Video Brokers.
Yes, it cost $200.
It was $200 per year to join, which is add that to inflation, that's a shit ton of money. It only costs you $60 a year to join Costco, all right? So imagine way back, 1983, 1984, back when you got your first Nashua or National Panasonic videotape player. I know that my aunt, for example, they had a top-loading one, the one you slid it in and pushed it down, and the remote was on a cord. And it had a dust cover.
Yes.
On the actual device itself.
Things had dust covers back then for some reason. It must have been a lot more dust in the 80s.
Yeah, I had a Pi 3-in-1 which I bought secondhand from our friend's parents, a stereo unit that I bought, and it came with a dust cover as well. Everything had dust covers.
Even your nan's couch.
You could go and visit Nan, but just don't sit on the furniture, especially in summer because you would stick to it. Anyway, I'm talking about VHS. I'm talking about the medium that was just grand. But it was so good because, like, when you got a new movie, say, for example, you're going down to rent Basic Instinct. You get a fresh copy of it. You're lined up for it day one. Bang, you go over to new release and you get it. You want to know why? Because you don't want to watch it after it's been at the video shop for about a week or so.
Nah, they're rooted.
Because the time that Sharon Stone uncrosses her legs it all goes choppy. You can tell that someone's paused it and had it sitting there for quite a while they've serviced themselves, okay, to the side of Sharon Stone.
Well, they could have just went to the back of Video Brokers where that, the bead curtain was and gone through the bead curtain. But then the guy that owned the shop knew everyone in town. He'd be like, you're renting porn.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like back then, though, and you had your choice as well. Like, do you go a little bit of beta? Do you go VHS? Speaking about VHS, a single copy of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, has silently haunted a woman in the US for over 21 years after she found out she's a wanted criminal since the year 2000. Now, she didn't pirate the film or anything like that, but speaking to Cleveland County District Attorney's Office this month, Karen McBride, that's her name. Karen. Come on, send the complaint letters. Yeah, we're getting high up in here on Karen fumes. Anyway, she discovered the videotape she rented from an Oklahoma store 2 decades ago had left her with a charge of felony embezzlement of rented property.
What?
Now, she said that she only found out after attempting to change the name on a license after getting married in Texas. The first thing she told me was felony embezzlement, so I thought I was going to have a heart attack. She said the videotape was checked out under her name while she was living with a young man and 2 kids. Evidently, it wasn't returned on time as. Now, she said she'd lived with this bloke. It was over 20 years ago. She had 2 kid daughters that were 8, 10, or 11 years old. I'm thinking he went out and got it and didn't take it back or something. I don't know. I've never watched that show in my entire life. It's just not my cup of tea.
The new one would be good, though. It's great.
Isn't it?
It's dark.
It's dark and horrid.
The first season's kind of a little bit cutesy, and they tried to appeal to the young girls, and then they went, you know what? Fuck it, it's Netflix. Let's get the blood and gore. Only thing missing was boobs, because Netflix is famous for boobs. But Sabrina the Teenage Witch and boobs, I can see why they made that call.
Yeah, that might just be a little bit too risque.
Yeah.
She said that she'd been constantly let go from jobs under mysterious circumstances.
You're a VHS thief. Get the fuck out.
Now she knows why. This is why, because when they ran her criminal background check, all they're seeing is 2 words, felony embezzlement. Now, come on. It's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Probably rent, and like back then, you'd have to rent like 4 or 5 tapes, stack them high in the car.
Yeah, because you only got like 3 episodes on a tape or something.
Exactly right. Now, the District Attorney's Office was made aware of the bizarre mishap and decided to dismiss the case against Karen McBride. There she is right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
But like, even if they got her and find her, say they find her, what? I don't know, $100 a year, right? For however long the tape's been missing.
$100 a year, 20 years.
So that's $20,000. No, yeah.
$2,000.
$2,000, sorry. I'm math.
Do your math.
No, anyway, look, they get the money off her. Where's it go? The video store's obviously gone bankrupt.
That's right. Where's
the money going to go?
Where are you going?
I think there's one Blockbuster left in the world.
There is one Blockbuster, yes. There is one left. And I don't even know if it's still open. Maybe they're just keeping it open for the sake of it. I think the person actually bought it out. But then again, he'd have to also buy the name Blockbuster Video, wouldn't he?
Probably wouldn't be worth much. What was it, Blockbuster, when this whole Netflix will send you DVDs in the mail? That'll never work. We don't have to worry about competing with that.
Actually, I'd completely and utterly forgotten.
That's how they got the start.
Yeah, I know. It was like, watch these movies and then there's no late fees and send them back when you can. And
I've still got some.
Do you really?
Yeah, because there was no late fees. Like, because they were hoofing out free trials to email addresses like dollar bills at a strip club at one stage when they first came out in Australia. Just sign up for 3 or 4 different accounts and go, ooh, I like that movie.
Do you know?
And I've still got them. I have to pull them out.
Do you remember the dark times when we worked at Telstra and they had a thing called Big Pond Movies that we were forced to sell? Big Pond Movies.
Yes.
And back then, like, unless you had, now what was the top speed that you got? It was not 512, it was like a meg or something like that. I don't know what it was anyway back then. Even if you had cable broadband.
Yeah, it came over at like I don't know, 480p, like the worst resolution in the world.
And to down, like, you couldn't download it and keep it because the file had something on it where you couldn't. I don't know. You had to download
It had
something.
a self-destructing cookie.
Exactly like that. And it wasn't worth it. These days now, broadband is so great that, you can just get on and stream something straight away. It's the best. I love it with my Foxtel because I go, I've missed the start of this movie. I can then go back and stream from the start. It's the best.
Yeah.
But these days, like, I've forgotten completely about Netflix flinging out discs.
At least they weren't flinging out bloody VHSs in the mail.
Now, this is the one thing. Now, remember that thing that they used to have at the top of every single VHS tape that you rented? You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't download a car, or you wouldn't steal a purse, or you wouldn't steal a car, and you wouldn't steal a movie. And it's got the person there going, would I steal a purse? Would I steal a car? And then they basically stop the download of the movie and pick up their keys and walk out the door.
Yeah, what was that about?
I have no idea. So they had nothing better to do than to download a movie, and then they go, oh, no, I need
No, bugger that. Back in those days, downloading a movie took a couple of days.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
So
the
he wouldn't
speed.
stop it halfway through. You go, look, this will be my last one.
Yeah.
I'm going to download this movie. I can't think of a relevant movie at that time frame at the moment, but I'm going to download this and then I'll be done. I promise. I'll get off the horse. I'll be all right. You wouldn't download it halfway.
No, but these days you can download a car. You can download the schematics for a car to put it in your CAD program. You could probably print one.
Yeah.
You can print a house in 4 days over in China.
Print anything, apparently.
Not that they're using their technology for good, might I add. They'll yes, we're going to house people. We're going to build a village. We'll print a village in 4 days, and then we're going to dam it.
Yeah.
Now, remember those warnings at the top of movies?
I do.
But what about the ones that went before, when piracy was the thing, have you ever rented a movie that wasn't quite right?
No one remembers that.
But you know what? Like, the thing is, you just record all of that stuff on there and the tape looks legal.
Yeah.
You just
I
go-
used to do that when I dubbed tapes and stuff. I made sure I put the piracy message on the start
Yeah, that's right.
because it was ironic.
You know what I used to always like, actually, the warning on the top of it where it basically said, you will not show this movie on buses or
Oil rigs.
Now, I've just always... I was boggled by that. Prisons I get, coaches and buses I get, but oil rigs? Like, it's a lonely life on the oil rig, and you would think that most people on the oil rig would have late fees because it's quite difficult to get off the rig, get to the mainland.
They'd have to get a weekly rental, at least a weekly rental. You couldn't get them overnight.
No, you wouldn't be able to get the overnight rental there, the new release. Like, it's either a boat or a chopper trip, and they'd have to stack up because they wouldn't go to town every day on the chopper.
God, no.
From the oil rig. To be perfectly honest, I haven't actually looked at oil rig schematics or anything like that, but I don't really think that I would enjoy watching a movie on an oil rig, to be perfectly honest.
It'd be better than mining oil, I guess, like out in the weather and all shit. It'd be like Deadliest Catch, but on a platform.
Yeah, I dig that, but you'd be in a room smaller than this with like a smaller than 34 centimetre colour TV.
Yeah, but I think it'd be like you'd have your berth or whatever, or like a little cabin, and each cabin would have a
Jeez, I didn't know
telly.
I didn't know where you were going there for a second with that word. I understand the other spelling of berth.
Just a tiny little cubby hole, and everyone would have their own telly, and it'd all jack into like a multi-port thing, like a hotel. You know how hotels all have the movies and whatnot playing?
Yeah.
I think it'd be the same as that. I wouldn't want to sit in a common room with other stinky, horrible miners and watch
Sabrina
Pretty
the
Woman,
Teen.
or they might see emotions or something. You might have shed a tear when Richard Gere finally gets her off the streets. But,
I want to know really quickly when this whole Skynet thing starts and the machines take over. Here's the worrying thing, right? I want all of these companies, Video Easy. They're still around, but they've got kiosks.
Yeah, what's that about?
You can go to the mall and go...
No. Why are they still a thing?
I have no idea. Because to rent the actual thing, you've got to swipe your credit card or tap your phone or something.
Yeah.
But when you have a look at the cost of renting that movie, walk 4 shops up to Sanity and go, it's on DVD for $8.
So, but hang on. If you're renting a movie, say, what is it, $9 or $10 to rent a movie?
I don't know.
All right, let's split the difference and go $7 to rent a movie.
Right.
You rent one movie a weekend, one new release a weekend, whatever, right? Or whatever, just to watch.
What we used to do.
So that's 4 sevens, 28. $28 could get you a subscription to Netflix and Stan.
Yes.
And you could watch shit 24/7. Plus, you wouldn't have to go out into the unwashed sea of humanity. You wouldn't have to stick some bloody old coaster into a machine that's probably clapping out because they don't really make DVD players much anymore.
No.
And the quality's arse. DVD quality is worse than high-definition streaming.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get, like, the only reason it must be, and I think this is why, I said this to the missus the other day, actually, you've sparked my scientific mind. It's like, well, you sparked something. It's like gentrification.
Right.
I'm going to go big. I'm going to go deep on this one.
Okay. But let me just go back to my point before you go big and deep. Okay?
Righto, yep.
If you don't return the DVD to the machine, does it like transform? Is it armed? Is it going to chase you down the streets? You know what I mean? Robert Patrick style going, give me back the fucking movie. I'm frightened. And